Now, let us talk about the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, which is also known as determinant of the third order. A determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix will contain 3 rows and 3 columns. That is, the 3 rows 1, 2, 3, and the 3 columns 1, 2, 3. Okay, so each element in the determinant is associated with its minor, which is found by omitting the row and column containing the element concerned. For example, the minor of A1, which is obtained by omitting the row and column containing the element A1. So we have the minor of A1 as B2, B3, C2, C3, as you can see. Good. Likewise, the minor of B1 is obtained by omitting the row and column containing the element B1. So we have the minor of B1 as we can see as A2, A3, C2, C3. Good. Also, the minor of C1 is obtained by omitting the row and column containing the element C1. Okay, so now we have the minor of C1 as A2, A3, B2, B3. Okay, so in the same way we look for the minor of A2, A3, and so on. Alright, good. Then, to expand a determinant of the third order, that is with element A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. We can write down each element along the top row, multiply it by its minor, and give the terms a plus or minus sign alternatively. That is, let me give an instance over here. The top left hand element always has a plus sign. Then others follow from it. Okay, that is minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Alright. So now, to expand this determinant, as we write down each element out along the top row and multiplying it by its minor, okay, so we have this equal to A1. So we eliminate the rows and columns that contain the element A1. So we have B2, B3, C2, C3. Okay, remember the top left hand element always has a positive sign. Okay, so this is positive. Then the next is going to be what? Negative. Good. So we have minus. Then for the second element, B1, okay, its minor are, by the time you omit the rows and columns that contains B1, we have A2, A3, C2 and C3. Good. Alright, then we go to the third element, the top row, which is C1. So which place sign are we going to have? A positive place sign. Okay, so we have C1, then its minor are. By the time we block out all the elements containing the row and column where C is concerned, we have A2, A3, B2 and B3. Then of course we already know how to expand a determinant of the second order by multiplying diagonally. That is, the product of the diagonal B2 C3 will minus the product of the diagonal C2 B3. Okay, so in the next video we are going to use this to evaluate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, which is also known as determinant of the third order. Here is another example for us to evaluate. We expand as usual along the top row. So we multiply each element by its minor and assign the alternate positive and negative sign to the product. Okay, so we go. The first element are the top left hand of the matrix, which is 2. Then to be multiplied by its minus, which is obtained by blocking out the row and the column that contains the element 2. Okay, so the minor are 6, 9, 3, 1. Okay, then we go over to the second element, which is 7, with the place sign minus. Okay, so now we block out the row and column that contains the element 7. So we have the minus are as 4, 8, 3, 1. Okay, then the final element 5 with a plus place sign. Okay, so we have, then let's block out the row and column containing 5, the element 5. So we have its minor as 4, 8, 6, 9. Okay, so now let us expand the 2 by 2 determinant formed by the minus. Okay, so now we have 2 bracket 6 times 1, which is 6, minus the product of the diagonal 9 and 3, which is 27. Okay, the next we go to the next element, minus 7, then 4 times 1, which is 4, 8 times 3, which is 24. Then lastly, plus 5 bracket 4 times 9, which is 36, 8 times 6, which is 48. Alright, good. Let's go to the next stage. Now 2 bracket 6 minus 27 will give us minus 21. Okay, then minus 7 bracket 4 minus 24 will give us minus 20. Alright, then plus 5, 36 minus 48 will give us a negative value minus 12. Alright, So now let's work this out. 2 times minus 21 will give us minus 42. Then minus 7 times minus 20 will give us a positive value of plus 140. Okay, so now we go. Lastly, 5 times minus 12 will give us minus 60. All right, so minus 42 plus 140 minus 60 will give us 38. All right, so this is the final answer. Good. Let us evaluate this 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so to expand this determinant, we have to write down each element along the top row, that is the element 1, 3, 2. Okay, and to do that, we multiply each by its minor, and we make sure that the terms has a negative or positive place sign depending on where the term is positioned. Remember, the top left hand element, which in this case is 1, carries the plus sign. Then the other element following it is going to be the minus, and the third one is going to be the positive. Okay, so now to expand this, the first element, the top left hand, which is 1, we multiply this by its minor, which is obtained by blocking out the row and column that contains 1. Okay, so the minor are 5, 4, 7, 8. Okay, then we go to the second top element after 1, which is 3. The place sign is minus. Okay, then we multiply that by its minor. So if we block out the row and column that contain the element 3, we have the minor 4, 2, 7, 8. Okay, then the third element 2, which we have a place sign of plus. After negative is plus. All right, so plus 2, then to be multiplied by its minor, so we have to block out the row and column that contains the element 2, which gives us its minor 4, 2, 5, 4. So now we expand the determinant, which is now formed. So now we have equals to 1 bracket the product of the diagonal 5 and 8, 5 times 8, minus the product of the diagonal 4 times 7, 4 times 7. Okay, then minus 3, the product of the diagonal 4 and 8, so 4 times 8, minus the product of the diagonal 2 and 7, so we have minus 2 times 7. Then for the last one, we have 2, the last element 2 bracket that the product of the diagonal 4 and 4, we have 4 times 4, minus the product of the diagonal 2 and 5, 2 times 5. Okay, so now we have 1 bracket 5 times 8 is 40, 4 times 7 is 28, so minus 28, bracket minus 3. 4 times 8 is 32, minus 2 times 7, which is 14, bracket, plus 2, bracket, 4 times 4 is 16, minus 2 times 5, which is minus 10. So now we have 1, bracket, 40 minus 28 will give us 12, good, minus 3, 32 minus 14 will give us 18, then plus 2, 16 minus 10 will give us 6, okay. So now we have 1 times 12, which is 12, minus 3 times 18, which will give us 54, okay. Then plus 2 times 6, which will give us 12. So now 12 minus 54 plus 12 will give us a negative value of minus 30. Right? So that is your final answer. Now let us evaluate this matrix. I guess you should observe that the element in this matrix is the same as the previous example. Okay, so but this time around we want to expand down the first column in the same way. That is, the first column with the element 2, 4, 8. Okay, so we still go ahead to assign the alternate positive and negative signs to the product. So now we get the first element 2. We block out the rows and column that contain the element 2. We have its minor as 6, 9, 3, 1. Alright, so we go to the next element, which is 4, with the place sign minus. Okay, then we multiply this element by its minor, which is obtained by blocking out the row and column that contain the element 4. So we have its minor as 7, 9, 5, 1. Okay, then the last element at the bottom with the place sign plus. Okay, 8. So now we multiply that as well by its minor, which is gotten by blocking out the rows and columns that contain the element 8. Okay, so now we have its minor as 7, 6, 5, 3. Alright, so now let us expand the determinants formed by these minors. Okay, so now we are equal to 2, 6 times 1, which is 6, 9 times 3, which is 27. The next, minus 4, 7 times 1, 7, 9 times 5, which is 45, then plus 8, 7 times 3, which is 21, 6 times 5, which is 30. Alright, so the next stage equal to 2, 6 minus 27, which gives us minus 21, then minus 4 bracket 7 minus 45 will give us minus 38. Good, then plus 8 bracket 21 minus 30, which will give us minus 9. Alright, so now we open the brackets. 2 times minus 21 will give us minus 42. Minus 4 times minus 38 will give us 152. Then 8 times minus 9 will give us minus 72. So minus 42 plus 152 minus 72 will give us 38. Do you notice that this is the same result as that which was obtained in the previous example? Okay, so you can expand along the top row, or you expand down the first column. In the same way, you are going to arrive at the same answer. Okay, good.